To capture good sound, there's basically one giant rule, and that is move the microphone as close as you can to the subject. And that's why many talking heads are captured with a small lavalier microphone. And as you can see, I'm also wearing one. It's connected to a transmitter, and this signal right here goes to a receiver which then outputs the audio into my camera. Now, the one I'm wearing here is from Saramonic, and let's find out how it performs. Hey folks, Jordy here for Cinecom.net and thanks, coffee! This right here is Senna, our new intern. Now go and clean my desk. A problem with wireless lavalier microphones is that they are pretty expensive. We also have the Senheizer G3 sets, which is around $630, so that makes the Saramonic wireless mics very interesting at only $90. Is it garbage or is it a great bang for buck? Let's find out. This right here is the box that it comes with. It's a very sturdy box with a nice design, but it's the thing on the inside that matters. The receiver and transmitter are made out of plastic. For me that's a little minor, as I've seen my Sennheisers drop so many times. On the back we can find a hot shoe clamp for the receiver and a normal clip for the transmitter. The hot shoe feels very sturdy, but the clip on the transmitter feels like it could break pretty easy if you pull it too hard. They've added an extra clip in the package which is meant to swap with the hot shoe clamp, but I believe we're going to need it more as a reserve for the transmitter. Next comes the antennas. Now they might look very big and clumsy, but in fact they are very flexible. They fit great into the boxes and it's definitely a good build quality. Comparing to my Sennheisers, the ones from Saramonic are bigger and less compact, but usually you clip it on the back of your belt, and in such a setup it won't be such a big problem. The lavalier microphone seems to be built very good. There's a sturdy clip-on and a windshield. The cable is very flexible and the connection to the transmitter is also very sturdy. It actually clips into place, and to take it back out you must press the safety pin. Now I would have preferred a mini jack connection here so that I can use different kinds of mics. It's not a big issue as you can get a small adapter for it. And honestly, this 3-pin connection is a lot sturdier. Next are the buttons. On the side we've got an on and off switch for both boxes, and we can choose between 4 different channels. Now we can't tweak the frequencies, and normally that would concern me, but instead of working around the 600 MHz signal like Sennheiser does, the Saramonic transmits just above the 200 MHz, which is reserved for broadcasting. So I don't think will be a big problem. Seriously, I'm recording here! Interns. On the bottom of the boxes we've got a slot for 2 standard AA batteries. Saramonic says they can deliver up to 5 hours of lifespan. A small LED light will tell us when the power is on. Now for the transmitter we don't have any extra features. It's very simple, which also has its benefits. There's not a mute button, but you can teach your actor how to use the power switch whenever he goes to the bathroom. Then on the receiver we have a mini jack output which goes into your camera or to a sound recorder. And on the top we can find the volume output control. It's a wheel you have to turn, which I'm not a great fan of, because usually you set your volume once for a particular camera and then you never touch it again. Well, with this device I suggest to always extra check the volume, as you can accidentally adjust it. Finally, we've got a headphone output to monitor the sound. However, I do not recommend to monitor your sound through the transmitter, because you need to hear what's actually being recorded, and therefore you have to monitor the sound on your camera or sound recorder. Because if anything goes wrong with the actual recording, then you didn't hear it because you were listening on the transmitter. But let's now head to the point you guys have all been waiting for. How does it sound? Well, you've been listening it to the whole time now, but let's compare it to the Sennheiser mics.
This is an audio test with the Saramonic wireless microphone set. This is an audio test with the Sennheiser wireless microphone set.
So when comparing the audio quality, we definitely hear that the Saramonic mic misses out on some of the higher frequencies. But I didn't notice it before the comparison, so in my opinion, it's not a big issue. Again, you have to remember that we are comparing a $90 with a $630 mic. So for that price, I'm actually very happy with the sound quality. Next, we did some tests to see how it handled interference, and we couldn't find any problems. We tried different things, and one of them was holding the Saramonic mic to an LED transfo. But first, let me show you how a normal shotgun mic handled this. That didn't sound good. Now let's listen to the Saramonic mic. Pretty awesome results, eh? And finally we did some output signal tests. The first thing I did was attaching this to the very popular Panasonic GH4. And unfortunately I bumped into a pretty big problem. The output of the transmitters seemed to be very loud. The volume control was sitting at the very minimum and the camera gain was also turned all the way down. And I still had to be very careful not to peak the sound. But then on a different camera, the Canon 5D, we didn't have this problem. Although I must say I was using Magic Lantern. So the camera gain on the GH4 was a lot more. Something I can work around with the Sennheisers, but not the Saramonics. So the verdict now. Do I recommend this wireless microphone from Saramonic to you guys? And the answer is, to a certain group, a big yes. And with that I mean anyone who's starting with filmmaking, anyone who makes YouTube videos, small corporate videos, events and news, and a lot more of those smaller productions where usually the end user is watching your videos through the internet. For the price point, it delivers great performance and audio quality. More professional users that work on bigger budget productions will usually need more functionality and durability. This mic goes into my recommended gear list. To purchase it, follow the link in the description below or click in the cards up there.
Thanks a lot for watching and stay creative.
Hey!